Okay, so our next unit that we're going to do is called a logic unit. So today we're going to start with talking about some set theory stuff. Okay, so we're going to talk about some definitions. A set is a collection of distinguishable objects. So for example, write a set of whole numbers. So we could call it a W equals, and then these squiggly brackets are how we list sets. So does anybody know how a whole number starts? What's the very first whole number you can have in math? 1 is a whole number. 0. 0 is the first whole number. And then 1, and then 2, and beyond. Okay, I'm obviously not going to list because it would go on and on forever. Okay, so the next one says write the set of all the even numbers from 1 to 20. So I'm going to write squiggly bracket. So then all the even numbers in that would be 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, and 20. And that is all of them. An element is an object inside the set. So we wrote out, for instance, the set of whole numbers. So we could say 3 is an element of that set of whole numbers. So you guys have probably seen this before, right? When we say something like X is an element of the real numbers or whatever, right? That's what this is talking about. It belongs to the set of something. A universal set is a set of all the elements under the context. So if I was to list the set of this class, right? If I had the universal set, I would have to have all 18 of your names in there. Okay? Let's just do, for instance, the first letters. So Caius, Aiden, Ryko, Evian, Elon, right? Do you get the point? Okay, you would have to list every single person. Oh, I ran out of room here. There. Okay, so the universal set is all of you included. Okay. Okay, a subset is a set whose elements all belong to another set. So it would kind of look like that in a drawing sense. So if I talked about all pies, types of pie, would you understand that that's a subset of desserts? All the types of pies would belong to a bigger picture desserts, right? So pie is a subset of desserts. So that's a different symbol. This means the element of something, and this is the whole group belongs inside that group. Okay, so a complement is kind of an opposite event. So if I say all even numbers, so out of everything in the universe, I'm going to talk about even numbers. what's the complement of even numbers? So not even, this symbol means not. All the other numbers would be not even, or they would be odd. So a new symbol, that symbol means not even. So complement is the opposite occurring. Bless you. Okay, an empty set is a set with no elements. So for example, all students in this class who are failing the class, I'm about to list you. It is empty. I'm not going to put anybody in there. Okay? Some people just leave it like that. And I've also seen like something like this, which means like, boom, there's just nothing in there. Okay, disjoint set. So if you draw these two sets, you can't overlap at all. So for example, odd numbers and even numbers would never ever overlap each other. They're disjoint from each other. Okay. So it's not like you have to have that stuff memorized, but that's just a little bit of a background. Okay, so these below us are called Venn diagrams. Have you seen Venn diagrams in science probably before a little bit? So you've heard that word. Okay, so M is the set of all of the foods. D is his favorite desserts. V is vegetables. And F is fruits. So which diagram would make the most sense? So this would show me fruits, but a little bit of the fruits were also considered desserts. That kind of makes sense to me, right? Vegetables, I wouldn't overlap vegetables with dessert. Does anybody else ever have a vegetable for dessert? Okay, this one doesn't make sense to me because all of the foods he eats is M, and then vegetables is the whole thing. So that one doesn't make sense. Everything doesn't belong to all the vegetables. This makes sense. M is the whole box. All the foods he eats is M. So that one makes sense. This one, the difference in this one is all of the fruits are here, but none of them overlapped. So which one makes more sense to you? So this one says every single fruit is a dessert. This one says no fruits are desserts, and this one had some of the fruits overlapped with desserts. Are you okay understanding I'd pick that one probably? Because it's not like every single fruit is a dessert. I wouldn't say that none of them are. I would say there's a little bit in them. Okay, given the whole universe is positive integers less than 10. So should we write them out just so we can see? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Those would be the only numbers you can consider. That's the universe. Positive integers, so you can't have 0, no negatives, but you got to be less than 10. So I need you to draw a big box that will say U, because that's the universe of our numbers. Okay, so X is already listed. Prime numbers. So let's write out the set. What's prime? Anybody know the word prime? What does it just mean in math? You can only divide by yourself and 1. Okay? 1 is actually not considered a prime number. So next is 2. Yes. 3. Yes. 4. No. 5. Yes. No more even. 6. No. 7. 8. No. 9. No. So that's it. And all the odd numbers, so if I list those, we get 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. Okay, is there anything falling under all 3 of them?
5 and 7.
5 and 7 belong to all 3 of them. Okay, so I'm going to overlap all 3 of them. So let's call this one X, this one P, and this one O. So we're going to put 5 and 7 in the overlap of all 3. Okay, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to highlight them to know that I'm done with them. Okay, so now, is there anything that belongs to 2 things? So 4, 6, 8. Does anything else have a 4, or 6, or an 8? No. So then those only belong to X. So 4, 6, and 8 only belong in X. So then I'm going to highlight to say I'm just done with that right now. There's a 2 here. This one doesn't have a 2. So I'm going to put that only in the P. Okay, oh, here's a 3 and here's a 3. So I need to overlap that with a P and an O. So that will go here. Do you see how that overlap is different than the triple overlap? So the 3 is done. And then I'm left with a 1 and a 9 that are only in the odd. And then do you see how all of that is inside the U box? They all are under there. Okay, so this is a triple overlap, this is a double overlap, and these are only items.